Okay, so I haven't done a Seesaw video in a while, but the past few weeks I've been working with a lot of teachers, mostly upcoming graduates and teachers that are going to be starting next year, and really showing them how awesome this platform is for their classes. So I thought I'd do another real quick recap of Seesaw, how you set it up and how you go. Basically, all free using the free version. Obviously, there's two versions. To me, the free version is all you need as a teacher, which is brill. But I'm also going to show you basically how with one tap you also have an awesome class blog too, so it can really kind of do everything for you, and you can do it from your couch, which is awesome. And so by that, I'm going to be doing everything from the iPad, setting up a class, modifying a class, working in class, do the works from the iPad. So let's start. Tap on Seesaw. So there is two apps. There's one for you, and there's also one for parents. So a student and a teacher use the same app essentially. Just pick which you are. You're obviously, if you're a student, you're a yellow-faced person with odd hair. But parents get a parents app, which allows them to basically follow their kids' progress and add comments and see what the teacher says about their own student, which is awesome because something like that means no more parent-teacher interviews. Anyway, I'm going to sign in as a teacher. I'm going to sign in. I've got an account already, so I'll do my password. And away you go. So if you've never used Seesaw before, you'll be getting a blank page here. I've got a bunch of classes which I've set up, which is why it's coming to my last class. There you go. So if you've never used Seesaw before, you'll be getting a blank page here. I've got a bunch of classes which I've set up, which is why it's coming to my last class. But all we need to do is go down here and create a new class. There we go. And a few questions to basically tell you what sign-in mode you want. I think I'm going to say no and no here. Basically, even if you have one-to-one, most schools don't really. So the best thing about Seesaw is you can have one device in the classroom and all students can use it by basically using this kind of QR sign-in mode. So if I tap on that, it's going to use a class code, and that's a QR code which the students can grab the iPad, pick it up, say they're a student, and they just scan that QR code and they log straight in, which is awesome, especially for schools that have those massive long email addresses, and preppies aren't going to remember that stuff. So I'm going to use class code, and I'm going to call this test 2016, great class, and add a student. You can add all your students if you want, but I'm just going to add the one, and I'm going to call it Rafferty. There we go. And that's it. And again, you can see down here, I can paste a list of students in, but I'm just going to do the one. And I'm going to tap enter. Oh, great level. Sorry, Raf. You're a kindy. All right, excellent. Start. And it creates your class, and it is as simple as that. And it will email you the QR code, which you just print out and put around your classroom. Thank you. And that's it. So there's my students on the side there. I've only got one. And this is all of the student work here. So as a teacher, I can add as much content as I want. The teacher can do comments. They can do, editing, modifying, all that kind of stuff. So can the students. They can do comments on other students' work. But of course, you can disable or enable all those kind of things. The other one down here in my class feed, you can see I've got a little folder icon. If I tap on that, I can start to have a bunch of folders in there as well. So when I start making work, I can put them in folders. So I may just have a journal, which is just a stream of posts from the kids, or we can start to organize a little bit more. And maybe I have maths, English, science, those kind of things. So the works goes in those folders, or I could set up things like reading groups in there, different kind of focus groups, those kind of things as well. Maybe one group is reading one book. I can have a folder for that too. So really easy to kind of organize your work. You may even want to have a folder for students where you've just got work that you want to use at parent-teacher interviews, those kind of things. So pretty easy to do. And then it's just a matter of adding media. So it's a tap up there, and I can add a photo, video, drawing, camera roll, which is just an image from my iPad, a note, which is actually typing a note, and a link, and that's it. It's super simple to add that content. I'm not going to show you that because you can explore yourself. The one thing I do like though with the drawing is it does actually have things like explain everything, that kind of platform built into it, so you can do drawings and it records those drawings as you go, which is really helpful for if you're annotating a student's work. You can actually record it and highlight and do stuff as you go, which is great. But I'm just going to get out of that. I'm going to go back to my feed. And that's it. That is my class. So it's as simple as that. I can tap in, obviously, the calendar, and I can do a blog view as well. So I'm going to show you that last one really quickly, which is the blog. So this is what I really love about this. So if I go into manage class, I've got a scroll. You can see here, enable class blog. Actually, probably should show some of these options here. So you can see, obviously, the manage teachers. So you can add other teachers in here as well. So you just say you co-teach in a class, you can do that. Or you might want to add different teachers from different subject areas, or different, the art teacher, those kind of things. So we can do that. Grade level, manage teachers, sign-in mode, share devices. So I can change that. I can manage my students. I can add or remove students here as well, which is great. student likes and comments, you can see I can enable or disable those kind of things. New comments require approval, lots of fun stuff like that. Students can see each other's work. You may want to have that disabled if you just want to, more have a personal journal, but I like having everyone seeing it. New items require approval. So if students start posting content, they need to be approved by the teacher first. So they can't just do pictures of their bum. But look, that's one thing everyone asks me about with this, especially with young kids, is, they're just going to add pictures of their bum. They're not, because it's actually really fun to use this, and kids love, especially, the lower year levels, feeling, quite enabled that they're allowed to do this, post work and comment on work and share work, and they just love it. So they're not going to be silly, so don't stress about that. Enable item editing, which means you can go back and edit an item, so I think that's great. Parent access, I've got that turned off, but I can enable parent access, and again, I can invite parents as well, so I can invite them to come in, or I can manage parents, or, parents have to request to be able to use this, and they only see their child's work, of course, as well, which is great. Manage folders, manage skills, lots of fun stuff. Save to the camera roll could be handy, so it also means that whenever you take a picture or a video, it saves to the camera roll of your device too, not just in the blog itself, and you can change your video quality as well. Archive class will not delete it, but it'll basically store it away. But what I want is enable class blog. Excellent. Okay, and I'm going to create a blog. So you can see I'm just tapping this, and it's so simple. And it's going to make a custom web address, and I'm going to call this test 16, and it'll see if that's taken. I'm surely someone's probably done a test on Seesaw. No, it's not. Okay, and I'm going to do that, and I'll delete it later so you can use it. Enable comments on the blog, okay, which means people can actually comment on the blog. So the blog is live, it's web-based, whereas this Seesaw is private. Though you can use Seesaw on the web, obviously, but this is really for your students that are in there. But this is public, so everyone can see it. It's a blog. It's made with a tab, which is awesome. So, nanas and poppers and mamas can see all this kind of stuff. You can password protect it too if you really want to lock it down, but I'm going to leave that open. I'll say comments require approval, but again, don't worry, because it doesn't post everything that you do on your journal. You choose what you want, which is great. Anyway, done. Setting up blog, and away we go. And there is our blog. Our blog is set up. And so now if you went to blog.seesaw.me/test16, you could go there. And you can see what it looks like as well. And it actually looks pretty cool. It looks like a great little website already set up for you. So I might even let me actually get out of that. And I'll jump to it in Safari, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just jump to Safari, and here's one that I was working on before. But if we just do, test 16, we'll go in there. There's my blog. Pretty cool. Nothing's in there. Awesome. But you can also customize this blog too and add images and those kind of things as well on your students. So I'll just jump back and show you how that blog works. All right, so I'm going to go back to my feed. So again, as a teacher, I can add content. So I'm going to add some content just so I can do this. I'm going to add a note, and I'm going to say, welcome to term 4. And I can do whatever I want there as well. Lovely Comic Sans font. Wish we could change that. Anyway, there we go there. And I'm going to add that, and I'm going to see who sees it in my journal. I'm going to say everyone sees it. Yay. And uploading, and done. And there is my note, okay? And same if I wanted to add a picture. I'm just going to add a photo. I'm going to take a picture of this awesome doona. There we go. And you can see down here, I've got a bunch of options. Whenever I add content, which is great, I can add a voiceover, I can add a drawing to it, I can add text, so it's not just this same simple image. So imagine this with students taking a picture of their handwriting or any of their work, they can actually take their work and then they can edit it and they can add extra things to it, they can record over it, they can do, add stories to their photos, just really make stuff interactive and engaging and real simple. So upload that. Again, who's going to see that picture? Well, everyone can for now. There we go, and that is in there. Now, this is where the blog is cool. So with one tap, you can see down here, I've got this little globe. If I tap on that, publish to blog, yes. And because I'm the teacher, go straight to the blog, which is great. Now, if I'm going to jump across, and I will refresh my blog, and here's my blog. Pretty cool. All right, so I didn't do any work, and I've got a blog set up, and I can add to this. You can see I've got the class list down the side there. I can see what Rafferty has done, all those lovely things as well. So pretty cool to have a blog. I'm going to jump back out. All right. So I told you I was going to do this quick. I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to show you how a student looks at this. Sign out. Yes. All right. Student picks up your iPad. Way to go. I'm a student. You can see there's just basically scan a QR code, and this is one that I did for another class. So there we go. As simple as that. Welcome to your class, and I am straight into my class account. And as a student, I can do all of those things that I did before. So I'm going to add a photo. I'm going to take another great photo. I just love this doona. Hold still. I like that. So it even knows, tells you to stay still. Again, I've got all those editing options. Who am I? I'm going to say I'm this student, okay, because this is for a class that I did. And there we go. uploaded as a student, by the way. So I'm the student here as well. And so that's me as a student. I can see the student feed, only one student in this class. I can like my own work as well. Tap, that's me. I can add a comment, okay. Great stuff. So imagine obviously there was more kids doing this. Post that as me. Again, you've got to remember that, I've set it up so it's a one device and the whole, class can use it. So you've got to pick what student you are as well, which is handy for, again, one to many. And there you go, waiting for approval because it's set for approval. And same deal. If I want to say I'm the student here, I really want this on the blog, I'll press that blog button and publish. But again, it says it needs to be approved. So all those things can happen as well. So really, really simple. Let me just then now sign out this one last time. I'll go back in as a teacher. All right, and I'll go to that temporary class, which was another one that I did down here, HTAV. All right, and you can see that I've got, as the teacher of this class, there's my student, HTAV student. I have unapproved items, so I can go in and I can see that this student wanted to add this image, okay, and he wanted to publish it to the blog as well, so I'm going to say, sure, I'll approve that. And it's also got some comments there from that student. Yeah, I'm going to approve that as well. So I can sit here and I can be in charge of everything that's going on this journal as well. And again, as a teacher, you can choose to not worry about doing approvals. You may do approvals the first time. Again, students are pretty on the ball with this. And that is it. It's as simple as that. So Seesaw, awesome for a class journal. Why do you want a class journal? Well, just to collect all the content that kids do during the day. And again, think of the amount of effort it would take you to sit there and take photos and collect their work, and you probably forget half the time anyway. Having a couple of iPads lying around, you put that work on the students. They've done some great work, grab the iPad, add it to your journal, and they'll add it in there straight away. You can never have too much. Digital is free, so that's awesome. And they'll have all of this work and they can reflect and respond on it as well. It really makes them grow. Other students can reflect and respond on their work. You can do that too. Like, you just have this great, bucket load of information. And again, one click as well, and you can share all of that to the parents. So could you imagine, you've just, little Rafi's done some great work. He's done an amazing drawing. You've commented on it. You've told him, you said how wonderful it is, and then ding, that parent gets a notification while she's bored at work and can see that great work as well. So this connection between you and the parent and the child is brilliant. And I've been using it a lot for EAL, so schools that English as another language, and again, that's really great to get through that language barrier, because you may not even be able to talk to some parents, in parent-teacher interviews, they don't speak your language, but this is very, very visual. They can see that work. They know what a smiley face is, what a tick is. And yeah, it really adds that connection to your classes. And now, like I said, with that simple tap and adding it to the blog is absolutely... Oh, there's my phone. That tap and adding it to a blog means you don't even have to go through the trouble of setting up a blog. Again, the students are creating all the work, they're capturing all the work, and you can choose what you want to highlight on the blog for the world to see as well. And again, you can share that with parents too. So super simple, super easy, and probably one of my favorite platforms for primary students, lower, upper, and even into secondary too. I can just see a million uses for this as well. So there you go. Thank you very much. Check it out. Like I said, I did that super fast, but I did it on purpose, so you could see how easy it is to do this. You could set a class up, get going now in a couple of minutes, and you're right to roll. And you'll have that blog going there too. So awesome, Seesaw, great stuff. See you later.